Good news or bad news, can't say. The life-changing lesson from an ancient Chinese tale. Once upon a time, in a small village in ancient China, there lived an old farmer. He was a wise and patient man, known for his calm demeanor no matter the circumstances. The farmer had a small family consisting of his wife and his only son. Though they weren't wealthy, they led a content life, working on their farm and managing their affairs. One year, after saving up small amounts of money for several months, the farmer finally managed to buy a new horse. This was a significant investment for the farmer, as the horse would help him plough his fields faster and more efficiently, thereby increasing his productivity. However, just a day after the farmer brought the horse home, it ran away. The farmer's neighbour, seeing this, immediately came over to express his sympathy. He said, "I'm so sorry for your loss. What terrible news. You must be devastated after saving up for so long." But the old farmer was unfazed. With a calm smile, he simply replied, "Good news or bad news, can't say." The neighbour was puzzled by this response, but he didn't say anything further. The next day, something extraordinary happened. The horse that had run away returned to the farmer's house by itself. But not only that, it brought along another stray horse with it. The farmer now had two horses instead of one. The farmer's son was overjoyed and ran to his father, exclaiming, "Father, this is amazing! We are going to multiply our farm income with these two horses. This is such great news!" Once again, the farmer, with his characteristic calmness, responded, "Good news or bad news, can't say." A week later, the farmer decided to take the first horse to his farm. His son, eager to contribute, took the second horse to follow his father to work. As they were on their way to the fields, the second horse, being a little wild and untamed, suddenly pushed the boy down and bolted. The boy fell hard, and his leg was fractured badly. That evening, as the family sat together at home, the farmer's wife was beside herself with worry. She lamented, "This is such terrible news. We will have to spend all our extra savings on our son's medical treatment. What a disaster!" But the old farmer, true to his nature, simply said, "Good news or bad news, can't say." Around this time, the king of the land announced that he was going to war with a neighbouring nation. To bolster his forces, the king ordered all able-bodied young men in the kingdom to be drafted into the military with no excuses allowed. When the royal messengers came to the village, they took away all the young men, including the farmer's neighbour's son, his friends, and all others in their age group. However, the farmer's son was spared because of his broken leg. A few months later, news reached the village that the war had been a brutal and bloody affair. Many of the young men who had been drafted were either killed or severely injured. The farmer's best friend, whose son had returned from the war with severe injuries, came over to the farmer's house. He said, "You are so lucky that your son did not get drafted. Mine came back with terrible injuries. Many have been handicapped or killed. This is a great fortune for you." Yet again, the farmer, maintaining his calm and composed attitude, simply said, "Good news or bad news, can't say." Now that we've heard the story, let's take a moment to unpack it. On the surface, this might seem like just another tale of ancient wisdom, but it carries profound lessons that are incredibly relevant even today. One of the most striking aspects of this story is the farmer's refusal to label events as strictly good or bad. In each scenario, whether the horse ran away, returned with another horse, or caused the boy's injury, the farmer refrained from making a judgment about the event. He understood that life is complex and that the true nature of an event can only be seen over time. This is something we often struggle with in our own lives. When something happens, we immediately label it as good or bad. But, as the story shows, our initial judgment can be misleading. Something that seems like a disaster today might turn out to be a blessing tomorrow, and vice versa. For example, losing a job might feel like the end of the world at the moment, but it could lead to new opportunities that you would never have considered otherwise. Or, perhaps, an unexpected promotion at work might seem like great news, but it could bring with it stress and responsibilities that you weren't prepared for. The power of detachment. The farmer's calm demeanor also teaches us the power of detachment. By not getting too emotionally involved in the highs and lows of life, the farmer was able to maintain his peace of mind. He understood that getting overly excited about good news or overly distressed about bad news would only disrupt his inner balance. Detachment doesn't mean not caring. It means not allowing external events to dictate your internal state. It's about maintaining a steady and calm mind, no matter what life throws at you. This kind of detachment can be incredibly empowering because it puts you in control of your emotions, rather than being at the mercy of external circumstances. The flow of life. The story also beautifully illustrates the natural ebb and flow of life. Life is full of ups and downs, and it's this very unpredictability that makes it so rich and complex. By saying good news or bad news, can't say the farmer acknowledges the fluid nature of life, where every event is interconnected and where one thing leads to another in ways we can't always foresee. This perspective can help us to be more resilient in the face of challenges. When we accept that life is a series of interconnected events, we can learn to go with the flow rather than resisting or trying to control every outcome. This doesn't mean we shouldn't plan or set goals, but it does mean we should be open to the possibility that things might not always go as planned, and that's okay. Embracing uncertainty. At the core of the farmer's wisdom is an acceptance of uncertainty. In life, we often seek certainty and predictability, but the truth is, life is inherently uncertain. By embracing this uncertainty, the farmer was able to remain calm and composed, no matter what happened. In our own lives, embracing uncertainty can free us from a lot of unnecessary stress and anxiety. When we let go of the need to control everything and accept that we can't always know what's going to happen, we can live more fully in the present moment. We can appreciate life for what it is, rather than worrying about what it might or might not be. Applying the lessons to modern life. Now that we've explored the story and its lessons, let's talk about how we can apply these lessons to our modern lives. Navigating career challenges. In today's fast-paced world, career challenges are a common source of stress. Whether it's losing a job, facing a difficult boss, or dealing with a tough project, it's easy to get caught up in the immediate stress of the situation. But what if, like the farmer, we took a step back and said good news or bad news can't say? For example, losing a job might feel like a setback, but it could be the push you need to start your own business or pursue a passion that you've been putting off. On the other hand, getting a promotion might seem like a great achievement, but it could lead to increased pressure and less time for your personal life. By adopting the farmer's mindset, we can navigate these challenges with more calmness and clarity. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can take the time to consider the bigger picture and make more thoughtful decisions.